Carl here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial, for short, and it's my absolute pleasure to be standing with Internal Conflict. Gentlemen, how are you both doing today?
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely great.
Yep.
Yeah, still buzzing.
Well, that's the thing, how was it?
Yeah, really good. Like, you know, first band on the sofa stage after 5 days on a half-inflated airbed. You know, it was a bit hairy this morning getting up, but like, once you get behind there, the adrenaline flows again. It's gig time. You're ready to go, man.
Yeah, as soon as I got backstage and picked up my guitar, I was like, do I still remember how to play this thing after a couple of days of not playing it?
Expect practice to nearly a week.
No, yeah, the last time we actually had the jam was like last Sunday. So then we got here and I picked up my guitar, I was like, I can still play this thing. Good, we're alright.
Yeah, there was a little moment where I was like, oh my god, there's a moment where I'm like, I need to remember that lyric, and I need to remember that lyric, but it was all good, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Before today, when was your last kind of shows? Because obviously there hasn't exactly been many.
We did an album release show back 30th of July in Leicester, 5.
You got that.
We were lucky enough to be able to get 2 in before, like, we booked him for the 30th in Leicester, and then we got asked to play at the Black Heart in Camden, like, sort of last minute, so we jumped on it as an extra sort of practice.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it was nice that because we were playing like 4 brand new songs.
Yeah, it got postponed because it was at the beginning of July, but obviously when the lockdown got extended, we were like, we released the album on the 9th of July, and it was supposed to be like the day after, on the 10th. So we were like, oh, we've still got to release the album, it's got a set date, but the album launch got pushed back to the 30th. So luckily we still got to play that before Bloodstock, obviously.
Yeah, it was a bit of a gamble, like we
knew it was.
Yeah, we knew like it's weird. COVID's one of those things where it's like, you know, it gave us a bit extra time to play around and record it, and so like we aimed for sort of in the build up to Bloodstock, in the hope that, you know, maybe we could catch their attention kind of thing. But we were essentially told, like, look, it's too late. But then we released it, got a really positive, reaction to it. So to be offered this slot, you know, first thing on a Sunday, it's a bit daunting, you know, because you know everyone's going to be feeling like we were feeling. Yeah. But it was an amazing crowd. Everyone's really up for it this whole time.
I mean, the only positive thing about COVID was it gave us the time to, because we like self-produced most of the album ourselves. So we gave us the time to actually experiment and do new things that we'd never done before. So we spent nearly like a year working like fully on this album.
If there was one thing we could sort of say like lockdown was good for, because there isn't anything really, is that like it helped us sort of take a step back to be able to go, right, what do we want to do with our music? Because we were full steam ahead and everything stopped, so what do we do now? So we just slowed down a bit, and like, you know, thankfully we got the timing right, and you know, it released at the right time, and even with the sort of slight delay, it was, you know, it's good.
And we experimented a little bit as well.
Well, yeah, many bands we've spoken to over this weekend kind of said a similar thing in regards to having the time to kind of experiment and maybe almost draw out an experience that normally you'd be trying to do in a much shorter time period. That aspect, considering you seem to have enjoyed it, is it something you think you'd take going forward in future releases?
Well, like, one thing you always see like the big boy bands, it's like this is their day job, so they've got time to do that. But when you're sort of down on the shop floor, like bands like a lot of the bands that play here, you've all got day jobs, you've all got families. This is their expensive hobby. So, you know, we've had our ups and downs, like emotionally and, you know, physically during like this whole time. So we were able to just take our time a bit more, weren't it? And, you know, we managed to get it sorted.
Yeah, just kind of like the album was just really arboreal. It's like a lamentation on the stuff we've gone through over the last couple of years. Like, you know, we've had life events and horrible things happen, divorces and relationship breakups, and just, you know, and this was like the catharsis of like all that into an amalgamation of all that into an art form.
The lockdown and everything that went with it is definitely on the album. That, like, it's weaved into the music of what we did, and like whether it's the lyrics or every aspect of it is like, it's very much, you know, it's the past sort of 2 years and beyond, to be fair. But like, we're all really pleased. We're really pleased with how it's worked out, and here we are, outstanding.
The level of personal experience in the album, does that then surprise you how well it's been received?
See, I grew up with sort of, you know, that kind of introspective sort of music, whether it's the new metal, sort of punk or metal, where, you know, as a lyricist, my greatest muse comes from sort of the mental health issues that I deal with and all this, like, you know, and I'm one of these guys, I've got my medication, it keeps me going all this sort of time. But like, what we've done for this band is like especially me, Ricey and Matt have all collaborated lyrically.
Yep.
So that it's like the stuff that everyone in the band has gone through is now part of the voice. Rather than me just complaining about me and what happened to me,
Of course.
it's very much us, and like that resonates in the music because we all feel like we've all got invested stake. It's not just yours is the riffs, yours is the drums, mine is the vocals. It's, we are all part of this album, and I think that's why we've all sort of done so well from it, like personally, and you can hear that in the music. And I've released a couple of albums. I mean, we released a couple of EPs together. And I had an album before that in my old band.
Yeah.
But it's the first time really that I feel like this is the one. This is the one that represents us the
It's
most.
something we can stand back and appreciate and just be like, yeah, that is us. That's a statement of like what we are as a whole. Like I said, we've released stuff in the past, and we love it because
It's us.
It's us. But this is the first one you can. We've all been able to stand back and be like, damn, that's us.
And shout out to Neil Hudson of Chrysler and Initiate Studios because he produced it like an absolute gem.
He mixed the engineers.
Mixed and mastered it, and like the guy, he's got a good ear, and he helped us get over the line. You know?
I was very scared about recording like the guitars, bass, and all the synth stuff myself. But as soon as I gave it to Neil, and he was like,
50% homebrew, 50% studio.
Yeah.
And it was nice to have Neil on board to help us just do that extra little bit to help with the vocals in particular.
Yeah, because I'd never done anything like that before. I'd done demos, but I'd never actually done proper recording for an album. Neil really helped because I sent him stuff and I was like, is this okay? And he was like, oh no, it's fine. I'm like, I don't want to mess it up, you know what I mean? Because you always doubt yourself, your own skills and stuff like that.
There's no bigger critic than yourself.
No, exactly. And as soon as we got the mixes back from him, and I was like, oh, it sounds really, really good. It's like, you give me a good product and want the product together.
Yeah.
Do you feel closer for this period, this album, this period of writing, and now obviously kind of culminating, but hopefully also a launch pad of Bloodstock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like we're just matured musically as well. We all like so many different things. There's so many different bands between us that it kind of comes together as like this one thing.
So we've always had a bit of a fluid lineup. Like we've had people join and leave.
Yep.
But there's been a solid core. And I feel like, I've said this a few times to friends over the weekend, it's like, I feel like we're in such a good place right now. It's a group of people that we know our roles, we know what we're good at, we know what we're bad at. We know when one person's angry and frustrated so that the other people can pull the strain, can to pull the slack.
Yep.
And so we've managed to produce this album that really is all of those features.
Yeah.
And I feel that's a good thing. And
we can read the tone in each other's voice.
Yeah.
Like we know when to push and when to pull back.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, you don't need to worry right now, mate.
Yeah,
you can carry on doing what you're doing. We'll do this and you can chill out.
They're stressed, leave them alone, let them do their thing.
Because
which is helpful.
We're all stunted man-childs.
Yeah.
This is what we do, you know what I mean? It's like we do it because, this is how we live. So, I think we feel like it's all part of the process, and here we are. And I'll say reaping the benefits is probably a weird way of putting it, but it's like this is why we do it. And here we are.
It's just amazing that we're here. It's actually happened.
Yeah.
And we're in a field with like this many like metalheads.
Yeah.
About to watch Judas Priest tonight blow the roof off the place. 2 months ago, I didn't think this was going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here we are right now. It's amazing.
More than that as well, guys. It's the pride of Britain.
Yeah.
Musically, our underground scene, from the highest to the lowest, other than a handful of few bands, everybody's from these shores, and you're part of it. Do you feel that?
Yeah. It makes you proud to kind of like be a British band and be like, at least like obviously because of a lot of foreign bands couldn't travel.
Yep.
So this is literally the creme of the creme of like the scene, the UK scene is here, and it's a great scene.
So honestly, like I know so many people from throughout my life who, like, the only bands they ever go to see, and this is no disrespect to them or the bands that they see, is that they'll only go see the same 2 or 3 bands, pay £100 a ticket every year.
Yep.
And it's like that's cool and everything, but like come down the pub and see a band for a £5 or a £10. Come around and see it, and like come to Bloodstock and just look at the Sophie stage and the New Blood stage. And then like if you come here a few more years, you'll see bands who've been on the New Blood and they're on the main stage now, you know what I mean? It's like Contra, like
exactly, yeah.
So they did the Metal to the Masses in Leicester, and I was sat on the door collecting the money for that. And it's like you knew those guys were legit, and like you just saw that like they just all grow. And there's they're not the only band to do that.
No, of course.
You know what I mean?
I said your next favourite band could be the band that plays the pub down the road
Yeah.
from you. You know what I mean?
I've seen it literally from people with I know, and I was like, you're going to like Conjurer or XYZ, come watch them. Not really sure. And then next minute they're texting me going, oh, Conjurer in town. And I'm like, the amount of times I've seen that, I'm like, if only you just listen to me when I speak to you. You know what I mean? Not that I'm the sage of like taste or anything.
But people don't love recommendations.
It's hard to see what's coming next.
Yep.
But off some knobhead who's in a band, so well, obviously you're going to say that because you want to see your band.
Yeah, like you're supporting them or something. So naturally, that's why.
It's what I'm into, but this is my vibe. But when you're just saying, check them out. Yeah, whatever, mate. Do you want me to come see your band? Is it? Right? Well, yeah, but you know.
All right, guys. Last one then before we get soaked on because the heavens are opening up by Bloodstock again.
It would be a British festival.
No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. What's the plan going forward now for the next couple of months? What we thinking? What we feeling? What's going on?
We've got a few gigs lined up for the back end of the year, and we're just playing it by ear, see what happens. Because obviously now everything's come out of lockdown, promoters are willing to kind of like take a risk on booking things again. So we're seeing what's going to happen on that front, and we're going to keep pushing the album.
It's just like, you know, because obviously everything was cancelled last year. There's a lot of gigs being rebooked, so it's hard to get things in where you can. But you know, we're working. We want to make a video and content for every song on the album.
Oh, amazing!
We want to try and make sure that every song is given its credit.
Yeah.
So, you know, whilst we might not be able to play every week, we've got something to show people.
Yep.
You know, we've got a camera set up so we can basically just create content.
Yeah. And
just try and keep the momentum going, because that's the important thing. You know, we've got a good album this time. We're well happy with it.
Yep.
We've got the gear. We've got the technology. We can just put things out there and just chat shit, basically. Because people like bands chatting shit.
Yeah, if I can be totally honest, like I've got our album on my phone from like the last mix that we had, the one that was released, and sometimes my phone just plays it, like when I press play on my Bluetooth headphones, and I forget. I'm like, oh, this band sounds good. I'm like, oh no, that's actually yours. I was like, oh, it sounds proper.
Yeah,
So
I was going to jump in as well when you said, oh, we got a good album. It's like, no, man, you got a great album.
Honestly, I really appreciate the good review, man. Like, getting them coming back, and we had some really good reviews, and it's like, it just feels like vindication, you know what I mean? We had one amazingly terrible review, which I will share about.
Those are the ones you treasure.
Yeah, thankfully we got one. That's it. You know what I mean? We got one off one. But I just don't think they like me. But that's fine.
No, fair enough.
Not many people like me anyway.
That guy definitely didn't like the sort of metal that we left.
But yeah, it's been good. The reaction's been good. Like Rob Stampede's, like Stampede Press, he's a legend. He's like, if any band wants a PR guy, he's good, because he'll just put you in the face of people, and then you just gotta let it go. If you believe in what you're doing, just put it in the face of everyone. You know, took this shirt, send them the email, just do the business, man.
Because that's the hardest thing, getting it in front of people that care. Like, is it? If you put it in front of people and let the music do the talking, and automatically they're like, oh, this is amazing. It's like, yeah, but this is some band that's like from the local town.
Yeah, we're from Worcester.
I mean,
you know what I mean? It's known for crisps and Gary Lineker. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal, what else is life for?